Greetings and salutations, family. It is me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC Lions Den Boston community. Shout out to the Louisiana All-American Sports Network. And shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. This is the Tailgate Party, Season 1, Episode 12. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Let's get it. Okay. The Tailgate Party, Season 1, Episode 12. This is the description for this evening show. Southern University drops to 1-8 after a tough 40-21 loss to UAPB on the road. Now the Jaguars head to Lorman, Mississippi to battle Alcorn State in a crucial SWAC showdown. In Season 1, Episode 12 of the Tailgate Party, Coach 67 Sports TV breaks down what went wrong versus UAPB, keys to victory against Alabama State, fan reactions, game predictions. Join the conversation live. The tailgating analytics and Southern University football pride, all in one place. Subscribe to Coach 67 Sports TV for more Southern University football talk, SWAC updates, and live reactions every week. So that's the description for this particular episode of the Tailgate Party. And truthfully speaking, in terms of what went wrong against UAPB, the same thing that kind of has gone wrong in pretty much every loss they've had this season. The game started in Southern. When they went toss, they deferred to the second half, but UAPB was at home. They won the toss, and they deferred to the second half. So I'm like, all right, well, Southern gets the ball first. Let's see what they're going to do. And lo and behold, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Princeton Cahey. Basically, he didn't feel a kick, and he waited late to try to go recover it. So instead of just falling on the ball, he went to pick it up. And one UAPB man hit him, and the other guy recovered it. So to start the game, Arkansas Pine Bluff got the ball on like the +7. And I'm like, dang, bro, like, how can you start a game this way? And of course, they scored. It kind of was back and forth, but I'm not gonna lie. Southern's defense, as usual, they really struggled. Then finally, Aston Strada let Southern on a drive. Southern scored a touchdown. And I'm like, all right, let's see if they can capitalize on this. Maybe they can get some momentum and they can keep it going. Then UAPB, they didn't do much. Southern got the ball back. And Southern turned the ball over again. And UAPB got the ball on the plus side of the field. They scored a touchdown. So on a quarterback draw, UAPB's quarterback ran 20 yards, scored a touchdown, and I'm like, bro. The previous week against FAMU, on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, you gave up a touchdown on a draw, in which the running back ran like 54, 55, 56 yards. And then the following week, the quarterback ran a quarterback draw and run 20 yards and score a touchdown. I'm like, bro, this defense is historically bad. You can't make this up. So Southern eventually, when I'm mistaken, I think they turn it over again. Either way, UAPB had a sharp field. So before you know it, UAPB was up 17-7, and pretty much that pretty much was the game. I mean, I know it was a home game for UAPB, but to get blown out against UAPB, bro, like this is historically bad. For you to get blown out by Bethune-Cookman and UAPB in the same season. And I understand both were road losses, but truthfully speaking, like there were stretches in the game where it looked like collectively as a team that Southern really tapped out and they really gave up. So at the end of the day, truthfully speaking, I don't think anything Fred McNair really could do. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the defense is historically bad. Southern struggled up front on both sides of the ball. You know, the defensive line has struggled all season. The offensive line really didn't do much. And at the end of the day, like defensively, like Southern is extremely bad. I think this is the worst Southern University team I've seen in my life. And I think this is the worst Southern University defense I've seen in my life. So at the end of the day, like it's just bad. Like this whole situation is bad. So, you know, that's what went around against UAPB. In terms of the next thing, the keys to victory. Truthfully speaking, nah. In terms of the keys to victory, I really don't know from a coaching perspective what I can really say, because defensively, Southern University is historically bad. Like basically, the previous week, you lost the shootout to FAMU. Jackson State blew FAMU out, and they didn't even have Jacoby and Morgan. So, and I said it after the game, like FAMU is not that good, and truthfully speaking, UAPB is not that good either. So, in my mind, I think Alcorn State is a heavy favorite. Going into the game Saturday, Southern going to travel to Lorman. From an X and O standpoint, I really don't know what you do, because, truthfully speaking, let's just look at Trey Holly. Like, I've said this on multiple occasions. I've seen a lot of great running backs come through Southern University. You know, I'm talking about Melvin Williams Jr., Lindsey Scott Sr., Leonard Tillery. I think Steve Warfel was a good back, but I think he was extremely overrated. Even from a talent standpoint, if you look at backs like Victor Ike and, you know, Jermaine Sharp, Lonnie Nicholas, I kind of go on and on and on and on of real talented Southern University running backs I've seen over the years. You know, my guy, Kendrick Grimes. You know, Kendrick Grimes was a dog. You know, you got guys like C.J. Russell and Kobe Dillon. I've seen so many Southern University running backs over the years, and truthfully speaking, just purely from a talent standpoint, I'm not talking about from a productivity standpoint, I think Trey Holly is the best Southern University running back I've seen in my entire life. And truthfully speaking, like, after you fumble the opening kickoff, for you to have to put him at kick returner, it's like, dude, like, that speaks volume about your team. The fact that you have the most talented running back I've ever seen at Southern University, and for you to kind of have to run him like play in and play out and play in and play out. You know, like my brother Jay Good said, you know, salute to him. He played for Southern University, my LDBC brother, and basically he was telling me this. He was like, Coach, if you have a Lamborghini, if you have a Ferrari, if you have a Rolls Royce, if you have a Bentley, like those type of vehicles, you don't drive every day. Like, you don't just drive a Bentley, a Rolls Royce, a Lamborghini, a Ferrari to work. That's not a vehicle you drive every day. Like, you use this vehicle sparingly and occasionally. Like, you break out a Rolls or a Bentley, a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, for those individuals that are, you know, like the top 1% of the top 1% and are actually able to afford those type of vehicles. Like, basically, it's for those elite level people. You drive those vehicles occasionally. You do not drive those type of vehicles every single day. And for Southern to have to give the ball to Trey Holly, like play in and play out and play in and play out, it's like, it speaks to how heavily they have to lean on him, really to kind of get the job done. And at the end of the day, truthfully speaking, from an X and O standpoint, from a strategy standpoint, I really don't know what you can do, for this team to really help them because, Ashton Strada, he struggled at quarterback. The offensive line struggled. It's hard for Trey Holly to really get off because, the passing game isn't great and the offensive line play isn't great. So offensively, and the thing about it is, the offense is the side of the ball with the most talent. Like defense, you're extremely limited from a talent standpoint. And special teams is also an area of weakness. So if your offense isn't really playing well, like, what do you really do? So I really don't know what to say for this particular team. From an X and O standpoint, I really don't know what you do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna kind of, after this, real quick, be checking on this situation. I'm gonna just kind of break down what I would do if I was Fred McNair. So give me 1 second. So, what I would do if I was Fred McNair, I mean, if you're the offense, like, you really gotta sustain drives. You have to go on long drives, and when you go on these long drives, you have to score touchdowns. And more than anything, you kind of want to keep the ball rolling from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, you just want to try to get off as quickly as possible, and the special teams going to be what it's going to be. But at the end of the day, I don't really know what you really can do. As a team, you struggling the way they are literally in all three phases of the game. Like, offensively, I mean, the offense played extremely well against FAMU, but looking at how they got blown out against GSU, clearly the offense really isn't. Their offense is not that good, and really FAMU as a team isn't that good. I think it speaks more to how bad Southern is. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of is what it is, and not only that, but the defense is historically bad, and it's historically bad as a team. You know what I'm saying? So the next thing I kind of want to address and talk about is the fan reactions. And I'm not even gonna lie, like, I'm in several Southern University groups. In fact, hold on, real quick. Something I need to address. Something I need to take care of real quick. Hold on. Okay, like I was saying, I'm in multiple Southern University like Facebook groups, and truthfully speaking, like, the fan base is not content with the product on the field. In fact, hold on again. God dog it. Hold on real quick. Okay. Had a bit of a technical issue, but I'm back in the building. But like I was saying, all season. So at the end of the day, I really don't know what you can do if you fresh there. More than anything, I would just try to play ball control offensively. All you really could do. So I mean, that's that component of it. But in terms, I mean, the fan base is not happy with the product on the field. And in addition to that, like the fan base is really, I mean, it really agitated administration. And I think the issue that really kind of has come to the surface is where, like, in a couple of these fan groups, like these fans are real upset about the product on the field. They're real tight and real hot at administration. And, you know, one thing I kind of, even myself, I'm guilty of, and I have to be cautious of it, is that you really don't want to criticize the players. You know what I'm saying? You really don't want to criticize the players individually. Like, you want to address the team collectively as a whole. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty of that myself. And some of the parents of players have kind of been in some of these groups, and they really don't like the way the fan base is kind of reacting to some of the players individually. So I'm not gonna lie, even myself, I'm apologetic about that, and I'm sorry. I don't want any one individual player that's representing Southern University to feel like I've attacked them personally. And like I said, I'm guilty of it myself, but because at the end of the day, these are student athletes. They put on the blue and gold. They represent Southern University, not only as a football team, as an institution. So, me personally, I don't want any individual player to feel attacked. But truthfully speaking, the product on the field is, it's not up to snuff. I mean, this team is historically bad. If they don't win another game the rest of the season, this will be the worst Southern University football team since the 1930s. I mean, 1930s. That's a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, like, the team is historically bad, and more than anything, I have to kind of point the finger at the board. And in addition to the board, he didn't pick Thomas Graves. Lorman Banks is the athletic director. So by default, he's gonna have to take some of the criticism, the constructive criticism, and some of the blame for this historically past season. And then in addition to that, a lot of it falls on Thomas Graves in terms of the coaching staff you've assembled and the players you've recruited. Like, this always falls squarely on him, even though he's no longer at Southern. From what I'm understanding, he's at Mississippi State now. So at the end of the day, like, this team is historically bad. And more than anything, when it comes to the next hire, the board needs to get it right, and Roman Banks needs to get it right. Whether they have a hand in it or they play a hand in it or not, or whether it's strictly the National Search Committee, you need to get this right, because Jaguar Nation is upset. I've seen multiple people in these multiple Facebook groups of men saying they won't renew their season tickets, and they're not content with the product on the field. My brother Teltron Leathers 225, T Leathers 225. Salute to you. He said salute, coach. He said we finna get beat by 28 Saturday. Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see Southern beating Alcorn State. I really don't. I don't see them winning this game. And that's the sad thing about it when the fan base has no hope. Because ordinarily, like this game, one of Lorman is, one of the games I usually look forward to. This year, I'm not even gonna waste my money. I'm not gonna waste my time. I'll just watch it online or listen to the radio broadcast. But at the end of the day, like, this team is historically bad. I mean, you got 3 games remaining. You got Alcorn. You got Texas Southern. You got Grambling. They 1-8. Do I see this team getting another win? Probably not. Because even as bad as Grambling is, I mean, Grambling, some of these teams, Southern losing and Grambling beating some of these same teams. So, it is what it is. Tasman Lathers 225 say some of the team looks like they have checked out. So I have since Bethune. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. A lot of people was pointing this out in the chat. And I mean, if you're a parent and your child plays for Southern University, I see how you would take offense to that and you would feel some kind of way. But truthfully speaking, I know when I see players, because I've coached players, whether it's football or basketball, that have mentally checked out and has tapped out and given up. I've had a couple front running teams. And truthfully speaking, what I saw Saturday, I mean, it was a point where I couldn't even watch the rest of the game because, like, it was unbearable. It was just difficult to watch. So I didn't even watch the end of the game. I didn't make it to the end. So I could see what, Tasman Lathers and a lot of the diehard members of Jaguar Nation that support my channel, like, I could kind of see what they're saying because, it kind of is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I see it. So the next thing I want to address, in terms of I'll address the fan reaction and now as the prediction aspect of it. Jaguar Nation is it's not content with the product on the field. From what I'm understanding, like, even in terms of like road attendance, like, Jaguar Nation travels well on the road. And people are talking to people. I watched the game on the SWAC network. Salute to the SWAC network, SWAC TV. So I watch it on SWAC TV, but from what I'm hearing and understanding, not that many people travel to the game. So it's starting to affect the support that not only you getting at A.W. Mumford Stadium when you're at home, but it's also impacting the attendance on the road. And I have a coworker that, he real cool people. He goes to all the Southern away games. He didn't go to the UAPB game. He said he might go to the Alcorn State game, but the fact that people that traditionally go to all the games are really not interested in looking forward to going to the game this weekend for Lorman, I mean, it kind of speaks volume about how bad this team is. So at the end of the day, hopefully they can maybe get another win. Hopefully you can. Definitely you won't win the last home game for senior night because I don't want to see seniors go out this way because this is bad. This is historically bad. So hopefully you can win a Texas Southern game at home. Maybe you could get one of these other 2 games. I mean, as a fan, if I had to pick, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are members of Jaguar Nation that wants the team to lose out. So Fred McNair is not the long-term head coach. But I think at this point, I think that ship is sailed. I think anything associated with Terrence Graves and this team is historically bad. With the exception of Trey Holly, I think it should be done away with. And let's be realistic, Trey Holly isn't coming back if the charges are dropped by a certain time frame. So if his charges are dropped, he's not coming back, truthfully speaking. So at the end of the day, like, really, he's the only player I would want to keep from this current roster. I mean, I think you just, as a university and as a football program, I think it's imperative that we get a fresh start. And not only that, it's not fair to the players on the team. It's not fair to the coaches on the coaching staff. I think everyone should get a fresh start. All the players that's currently on the team and all the coaches on the coaching staff. I think everybody should get a fresh start, and you just need to move forward. And I think as a football program, you pick the right coach, and you build from the bottom up. But truthfully speaking, in terms of a prediction, like Telsman Leather said, FAMU probably beat Southern by, not let me say FAMU, Alcorn State. Saturday, Alcorn State probably beat Southern by maybe about 28 points. So, I mean, it's that bad at this point. And truthfully speaking, I think the biggest question for me at this point is not whether Southern going to lose Saturday or not. It's not how many points they lose by. The biggest question for me is who's going to be the next head football coach for Southern University. And I'm going to address that particular issue and topic in my next video. So, of course, I mean, I can even tell by the views on the channel, like, the views are down drastically. The season started, my first post-game reaction. I got like 1,500 views for my first post-game reaction. In episode 2 of the Tailgate Party, I had 733 views. My latest live stream, I think immediately following, I had 280 views. And I think at this point, it's up to 500 views. So at the end of the day, you can kind of see the numbers dip. Because at the end of the day, it's not a reflection on me as a content creator. It's a reflection on how Jaguar Nation is kind of giving up on the team and giving up on the current product that they see on the field. And at the end of the day, I'm going to ride with my Jags no matter what, win, lose, or draw. But, as a fan, this product on the field and just the current team, it's hard to watch. But I'm a support regardless. Despite who's coaching, despite who's playing, I'm still going to ride with my Jags. I'm a diehard member of Jaguar Nation. And more than anything, I just kind of want the young men that's playing on this current team, despite how things look, I still kind of want them to go out there and play hard. And hopefully at the end of the day, these last 2 games, hopefully we could win 2 of the last 3. I don't see it happening, but hopefully they can do something. But that's it for this live stream. More than anything, I just kind of want, Jaguar Nation to know, win, lose, or draw. I'm a diehard member of Jaguar Nation, no matter what. No matter how poorly the team is losing, I'm still gonna be at the last game for senior night. So hopefully, things get better in the future. But that's it for this live stream. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's watching currently as we speak, and everybody that's gonna watch it on playback. For all those individuals that's gonna watch it on playback, I appreciate you, and I appreciate just all of the diehard subscribers to my channel that's really been rocking with me, all the new subscribers, and I appreciate y'all to the fullest. Y'all don't know how much this means to me, and I just want y'all to know y'all greatly valued and greatly appreciated. I'm gonna have more content from the Human Jukebox that's gonna be dropping all through the week. On Wednesday, I am going to have a video that's gonna drop. Who should be Southern University's next head football coach? Don't get me wrong, I have a short list, but more than anything, it's an ongoing conversation because the team isn't playing any better, and it's an ongoing conversation in terms of who should be the next head football coach at Southern University. some people want to go the celebrity route. Other people like myself want a proven head coach that's a proven program builder. And then you have other individuals that really don't care who the next head coach is, as long as we have the desired result on the field. And Southern gets back to the winning ways that they had in the 90s. So, I mean, that's it for this live stream. Be certain to come over and keep, supporting the channel. Like I said, I got Human Jukebox content dropping the next few mornings at about 7 a.m. And then in addition to that, I have a video in terms of who should be the next head football coach at Southern. And then on my brother Jared 11 Green's channel on Thursday, I'm going to say about 7:30, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. We have our latest installment of HBCU Fanatics, where we talk about, this past weekend's goings on in terms of the SWAC, the MEAC, the SIAC, CIAA, all of it, all the HBCU football. So, we're going to break it all down. And lastly, I want you to also support my other LDBC family members, my brother Brent Fox, on his channel. Go check him out. Also, go check out my brother Cadillac Red Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. Check out the beloved sister, the beloved Queen Shawala Yah on her channel. And my brother 7A Sports TV. He has two channels. His primary channel is 7A Sports TV. His backup channel is the No 304 Show. And I got other just, people that I rock with and support. I'm going to drop the links to their content in the community section of my posts during the week. So check out other people that I rock with. I want you to go and support them too. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal evening. Peace and blessing to the family. And go Jags, you dig?